Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Tuesday, the 28th of April. A mixed reaction from the coalition as our free trade agreement with India is signed. Trade Minister Todd McClay formally put pen to paper on the deal in New Delhi yesterday. New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters claims both National and Labour have signed the country's future away. He's concerned about a clause promoting investment into India.
I'm saddened by it. I was part of the process in the beginning. We could have done a far better deal than that.
AG leader David Seymour says the deal is massive.
I think it's going to be enormous opportunities for New Zealand companies to invest in India and then on-sell from India as a base into Asia and Europe.
The Associate Energy Minister says advice is still being taken on whether to cash in fuel tickets. Last month, the government announced it was considering whether to use them to secure an extra up to 40 days of fuel. Earlier today, the Finance Minister said boosting Marsden Point storage capacity had become the priority. As advice warned, the ticket should only be used as a last resort. Shane Jones says the ticket situation is very complex.
I think it's fair to say that it's still an option, but it's quite a complicated option.
And Shane Jones says it's difficult to see how Methanex will be able to maintain operations as OMV signals the closure of its Maui gas field. The oil and gas company has told the government its Taranaki gas operations are expected to finish by the end of the year. It primarily provides gas to Methanex, one of the world's leading producers of methanol. Jones says officials are working with Methanex to establish what its next steps will be.
Naturally, I don't want to chase anyone out of New Zealand, but the scarcity of gas is driving in that part of New Zealand deindustrialisation.
Job numbers rose last month before the full impact of the Iran war started to be felt. Latest Stats NZ data shows filled jobs were up 0.3% on the same month last year. Here's business reporter Michael Circle.
Jobs rose across much of the economy, although jobs in construction and manufacturing were both down 1.5%. Canterbury, Otago and Waikato are recording the strongest job growth. It's becoming harder to find a job in Wellington and particularly in Northland. We'll learn what that's meant for the unemployment rate on Wednesday next week.
The Electricity Authority will be taking a closer look at power price increases this winter. The average household is expected to pay about 8% more this year, following an 8% increase last year. It says that can vary between parts of the country and between retailers. The authority says an increase in lines fees is responsible for between 1/2 to 2/3 of increases. It's asking companies with more than 1% market share to explain the rest. And residents at an apartment building in Waiwera, north of Auckland, are slowly returning after a landslide forced evacuations on Friday morning. The slip, which included a large pine tree, forced the evacuation of 18 properties. In sport, New Zealand Cricket's incoming CEO admits the opportunity to get the job wasn't on his radar until late in the piece. Former Black Caps pace bowler Jeff Allett will take up the role in July. Chris Greenacre feels the time is finally right for him to take charge as head coach of the Phoenix and football's men's A-League. The Englishman's been handed the permanent job for next season after 4 stints as interim manager. And new Breakers signing Dejan Vasiljevic is trumpeting Dylan Boucher's influence on joining the ANBL basketball side. That is the latest news fix. We'll have another update for you tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.